Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We got 372 of you in here. Knox wants to say hi. As soon as I start talking, he's like, "What's up, Dad?" I want to say hi to everybody. Your breath smells like an anus. And not a good one. Like one that hasn't showered in a long time, dude. Ooh, gross. I love you, but you're going to smooch the top of the nose where you can't lick me. Alright, go on, bud. What is going on, everybody? Doggo. Something happened. So the last video I put out, I assume that some people are going to have some questions because it was not as well received as I had initially anticipated, but it's okay. It is okay. I don't expect you guys to agree with every last little thing I say, and I encourage you to ask as many questions as you like. Get hit by those storms yesterday? No, I didn't get touched. I didn't get touched. Give him a bath? I gave him a bath like less than a week ago. Knox, stop licking stuff. I love you. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to your bed. I love you. He's literally licking the floor next to my computer. Godzilla edits. Can I collab with you? Bro, I have... Let me put it to you this way. Time is what I don't have very much of. In any capacity. Have the lamb stop crying, Clarice? Probably not. Fundum, I mean, that last video that I posted, man, people didn't... He didn't receive it as well as I'd hoped. Am I staying on TikTok? Yes. I mean, if it gets banned, obviously I gotta follow certain rules, but yes. Can I bring the Burt Boy in? I didn't turn it back on, I'll be honest with you. I need to turn it on for a certain amount, turn off the AI reading, and then just have it turned down real low. That's what I need to do. Your banned one? What? Oh, yes. Yep, the banned one. Paul sucks here, not gonna lie. Big facts. U.S. air defense systems are what they specialize in. I mean, quickly, from top down, highest to lowest, GMD, ground-based mid-course defense, ICBM defense, Aegis, ICBM to long-range, short-range ballistic. I mean, honestly, everything. Aegis can hit it all. THAAD, terminal high-altitude area air defense, then Patriot, then... MSHORAD, maneuver short-range air defense. There's a conglomerate of systems that fall into SHORAD category, all the way down to like Stingers, LPWS, also known as CRAM. I think that's the shortest. I mean, you could consider like counter UAS stuff, but that's like LMATIS, FS lids, Smash, the smart shooter. That's I mean, there's a whole bunch of counter UAS systems. Fake fans. No, it's okay. This is the thing. I encourage people to disagree with me if they feel a certain way. What is your name? Question 2. What is your quest? Question 3. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? My name is Habitual Line Crosser. Question 2. My quest is to educate and entertain. And question 3. I have no idea what the airspeed of an... I know it's from a movie. I just can't remember which one. Let me see... Real fans agree with everything you say. No, that's the thing. I encourage people to disagree with me. Will leaving the Army change your content and you'll no longer be bound by the UCMJ? Marginally. I mean, ultimately, you guys are all here for me doing the same thing, but my left or right limit is based off of a couple different things right now. One is obviously Army regulation, but the second is my moral compass. So there will be some change, but not much. I'm not a fan of TikTok either, but I feel the U.S. could do a better job by implementing general privacy laws like the EU's GDPR. Okay, so that's the thing. I have no issue with saying TikTok is bad. I don't. I have no issue with that. But here's the problem that I run into. Okay, here's my disagreement with the entire thing. Number one, people use the phrase protecting the kids anytime they're trying to get you to stop thinking logically and start thinking emotionally. If people cared about protecting the kids, they'd pass bipartisan legislation that would allow hardening of schools. With proper funding, they'd no longer be soft targets. They would allow better guards. They would allow better physical security measures. They would allow, I mean, these things would be there, but it's not about protecting kids. Number 2, freedom. Freedom is incredibly important to me as an American, right? Freedom, and that being said, if I disagree with your opinion, it's still your freedom to have that opinion. Absolutely, 100%. I encourage you to have that opinion. That includes adversarial nations able to propagate their propaganda and your people being able to see it. That's what freedom is. Is it right for China to do that? Fuck no. It's awful. It's terrible. It's fucking... And young people are very easily susceptible to it. But it's not freedom to take away their right to absorb it. That's where I have the issue. That is my individual issue. Individual issue. Not the issue of any official government entity. Let's continue on with these chats, all right? No, they didn't report it. You know, people had some genuine disagreements with it, and that's okay. If Brandon wins this election, he should get all the Unsub family to take over their districts and fix Congress altogether. Devin, how do I answer that? I agree with you 100%. We need new blood in Congress and the Senate. That retirement home in D.C. needs to go away. There's a lot of people up there who are holding their position for no other reason that they don't want the other guys to have their position, and that is inherently wrong. This also means that we need to have Americans more educated about how our country works and how policy works, and understand that it's not just the presidential... Honestly, the presidential election matters fucking hardly at all. Congressional, senatorial elections, those are hugely important. The president just signs bills into law. They still have to get through all these people. So anyways, given my position, I don't really want to dive too further into politics than that. I mean, I agree with you. There's some new blood that needs to be up there. Love your work, HLC. Can't wait to see your jokes on the surprise return of Russia's Freedom Legion and the new friends in tow. I saw that. I need to address that. I did see that. So the video dropping tomorrow, I have had loaded since the day before yesterday. And I personally think, again, personal opinion, that it's probably one of the funniest I've ever made. And it's also going to be one of the most quotable I've ever made. I was one of those weird, like, I was actually making the video, you know, your band yesterday. And this one hit me and I was like, it kept flowing and it was great and it was hilarious and I loved every part of it. And I was like, this is phenomenal. But usually when I have those feelings, those videos just flop. They don't do very well at all. So I hope. Sorry. Yeah. Can one of my mods drop the Discord link? My bot is not working very well. Did I even finish reading that? I'm sorry. Hope your days are filled with support from both family and your fellows. It has been. I've had some very supportive. I did lose my fishing buddy. He PCS'd. That kind of hurts a little bit, but you know, he's closer to his family. He's got amazing career opportunities. He is an amazing person, and I couldn't be happier for him. More or less combating China's control over TikTok. Sorry, but I do not trust the CCP's hands on TikTok. This is the thing. I agree with you, Black Jim. I do not trust the CCP at all. But, okay. Let me put this in perspective. People are like, TikTok bad. Cool. Got it. CCP has control of TikTok. Got it. There are 472 apps on the US App Store that are owned by Chinese companies. TikTok being one of them. So what are we doing with the other 471? What level of control do those other 471 have? Meta has been the most affected by TikTok. Meta has seen the largest downturn since TikTok has come around. Meta also lobbies Congress with about $20 million a year. We just watched a bill get pushed through Congress in 10 days. I, for one, cannot remember a single time that has happened. Ever. The Emancipation Proclamation took fucking longer than that, okay? Like, I'm not saying it's a money game, but it's important to note that ByteDance and TikTok are both not US traded companies. Do I agree that the CCP should have control over it? No. But I think any government controlling the amount of information that an individual can absorb is an infringement on their freedom of speech and freedom of information. My brother's calling me. Let me text him. Hang on. It might be quick. Hold on. What's up, bro? I'm on stream right now. I'm on stream. All right, bro. I'll give you a call after. All right, bye. Anywho, so that's kind of the way I feel about it. Where's Aegis system been deployed? Literally everywhere. Sorry, I'm trying to get through all this. There's a few more supers that I missed. Can you please research the 1997 Foundation of Geopolitics? I'm waiting to hear you read this out loud. There's a lot of reading I have to do. I got some other things in the shoot first. Respectfully, I got a question. You see Speak the Truth yet? I have not. Right now, so let me give you guys my schedule. I have one family member in town right now, and then literally I drop them off one day at the airport and pick up another family member the following day at the airport, and then that family member's here, and then the wife and I literally take that family member to the airport, get on a plane, and we have somewhere to go for business, and like that is my schedule right now. It's nuts. So Putin got reelected. I saw that. With no, I don't think anyone, they probably had like one vote for the other guy just to make it like not look rigged. I do think TikTok caused the Air Force guy to go Sparky. Absolutely. We've talked about on here the power of social media. The U.S. is on the back burner. Like, we don't understand how important social media is. Social media content creators like me do. But let me put this in perspective for you. This is 23 and a half years, give or take, after the largest terrorist attack in world history. The more people died in 9/11 than any terrorist attack that has ever happened in history. Now, there are some that would argue like certain genocides are considered an act of terrorism for political or religious gain. This is a specific terrorist organization attacking a sovereign nation. Okay? Largest one in history on any continent. 23 years later, we have people siding with literal terrorists. It's because Hamas has a better social media presence than the IDF. That's what it is. It's why that generation sides with them. And they convince you that they are Palestine, they are not Hamas, and they are being killed. But the reality is, and I will tell you this is the terrible, terrible thing about a counterinsurgency fight. All right, I'm going to put this. You are in the United States. Another country shows up to deal with your shit, okay? You're already going to be pissed off. Your friend decides he's going to create an insurgency. You know who he is. You know what he's doing. You know where he lives. You can give that information to those guys. And those guys are sitting here trying to say, hey, we're here to help. Can you just tell us where the bad guys are? Are you going to turn into bad guys? You're not. You're just not. That's the way they look at it. They know who Hamas is. They know who the Taliban were. They know who Al-Qaeda was. They fucking know who these people are. But they're not going to turn them in. We know that. We fought it for 20 fucking years. All right. The F-22 needs to meet the Gripen. I got to research the Gripen. I really have to. Ryan Macbeth did a fantastic video today. TikTok being used for cyber warfare. Fantastic example of how disinformation is radicalizing individuals. I do agree. I love Ryan Macbeth. I highly respect Ryan Macbeth. Both as a creator and as somebody who really does their homework. I haven't had a chance to see the video yet. I've been out of the house all day, and I apologize about that. I need to look into it, but I'm really looking forward to it. I just saw it was actually on my YouTube page. Not too many questions today. We will see what happens when the whiskey keeps going down. I want to give support where I can for most recent bonus. For all the fun and laughter you give me, my family, from your videos. Thank you, Devin. I really appreciate it, man. All of you guys. Almost all of you. Thank you for being here. Hey, Terry, what's going on? Sorry, I also try and read the ones of people. So, like, is TikTok a cyber weapon or not? An argument could be made either way. Here's the thing. The internet itself is a cyber weapon. And allow me to explain. Before the internet existed, if I had a weird fetish, a weird opinion, a weird something, I would have to walk around town and try and convince people to join my cause. And I would get outed very quickly, and I would feel like a fucking outcast and a weirdo, and I would be on my own. And I'd be like, well, this is dumb. I don't want to do this anymore. The internet has given refuge to those kind of people. You go on Reddit and put out any outlandish fucking opinion. Somebody's going to side with you. And these people start like fucking just glue. They start sticking together and creating these communities. Every single social media platform in existence can be used as a cyber weapon to radicalize people. Every single one. So, is it designed to be that? I do not think so. Is it capable? Absolutely. It's kind of like designing an AI. It's like the existential crisis. We design AI, and AI in turn teaches us how to make better AI. Does that make sense? Is AI teaching us, or are we teaching AI? Stitch your latest video on Instagram about the Great China. The Great China. I'll have to check it out, Thomas. Warsaw Gaming, what has been your most intense moment, CONUS or deployed as an air defender? So December 2019, I engaged and destroyed. If you guys go look it up, it's IBCS Flight Test 5. I smoked 2 cruise missile surrogates utilizing the system. And this system, we practiced the engagement literally for a month before. We practiced it over and over and over. And the day before, we practiced the engagement 500 times. Well, I had never fired missiles before. This is an experimental system. The vice chief of staff is watching me on a camera and has cameras outside who is watching this entire experience. So I'm a little puckered, right? The targets enter where they're supposed to be engaged. It was just like clockwork. I hooked, interrogated, engaged, picked the engagement plan, boom, done, sent it. Did the same thing with the second target, and then nothing happened. And my heart just dropped. But what I didn't realize is this system, unlike Patriot, Patriot is like, you go to fire and it's trying to get it out. It's trying to get it out immediately. This system takes the flight path of that object and is like, all right, I need to wait to engage until it's right here because it'll give me the highest probability of kill, PK, of hitting that target. So there's a countdown. So I engaged both these things, and when I engaged it, nothing happened. And I was about to call on the radio, birds negate, which means I don't got the shot. I can't do this. I can try again if you want me to. And my warrant next to me, I hear him over the radio. 3, 2, 1, and then both of them, they took off, and that was made me feel much better. Made me feel much gooder. But yeah, that was terrifying. Trying to stay with all these. Joshua, thank you so much for the dono, my dude. Thank you for your service, HLC. Well, thank you for the support, my dude. Hold on, I want to make sure I'm not missing any. When do you go to warrant school? I don't, Dr. Zowden. So I did have my packet in. I would actually be graduating in 4 days. I came to the understanding and the decision that I am going to be walking away from the United States Army. I'm going to be parting ways. I love the Army. The Army's given me everything, but I have a rare opportunity to continue to make you guys laugh, make you guys think, and do amazing things.
Would you intercept me?
RS got me. Oh, man.
$9.99 from RS. I love you, BRO. Keep it up.
Thank you
Don't give up the ship. Marijuana is great. Hashtag N0H0M0.
Thank you so much, RS. There's 2 of them. There's going to be another one coming through. Hey, bud, I know you see the war. How do I see the war in Israel ending? Do you think we'll get pulled into this? I support our troops, but never served. Okay. Someone's going to clip this and take this out of context, but there's 2 ways. There's exactly 2 ways to win a counterinsurgency fight. Now, if you excuse me, I have to open the window because between my PC and the heater right now, wow. Thank you, Mrs. Linecrosser, if you're in here and you just turned on the heat to fucking Mordor. Okay. All right. Oh, had to make it a little cooler in here. Okay. So there's 2 ways to win a counterinsurgency fight. There's 2 ways. Way number 1, and arguably the most morally correct way, is to convince the people that you are the better option and you are the good guys. It's also the hardest option. Andrei, hi from Ukraine. What's up, my dude? The other way is morally and ethically screwed up. It is wrong. It should never be done, but it is the fastest. Complete extermination of a populace. Let me explain, okay? We learned this in Afghanistan. You know, it was really bad when we pulled triggers on another human being. We tried not to, as much as we possibly could. We tried to never shoot anybody unless we absolutely had to. People think we were over there like Rambo and doing combat roles and shooting everybody. That's not how it was. I went months, almost an entire fucking year, and never squeezed a trigger on my rifle. So what happens is Mr. Bomb Maker, you know, or whoever, local person, is filling his kid's mind with propaganda. You know, I gotta fight these infidels. I'm fighting on behalf of you. I'm fighting on behalf of me. Blah, blah, blah. And let's say that they even blow themselves up, which happens way more often than you think. They blow themselves up. So we didn't even do anything. And that one problem turned into how many other problems because his children now hate our guts. So the longer we spend there, that resentment is going to fester. And now we have created those into problems. And now they have children and they are filling their children with the same mind. So like over a matter of years, unless we eliminate all of them, you could circumstantially in 10 years have one problem turn into 50, 70 problems. So it's, maybe not 10 years, maybe 20 years. But yeah. Call me out just to say hi. Aw, Terry, what's up? All right, let me see. AI will ruin our country. I don't necessarily think so. I think AI has a lot of real-world applications, and they'll probably program all AI to follow the laws of robotics. We have messed with AI, and for a myriad of reasons. When I say we, people, AI can make lethal recommendations, but it'll never be given the authorization to make lethal decisions. Lethal decisions with AI are very, very bad. All right, RS, love you, bro. Keep it up. Don't give up the shit. Marijuana is great. No, thank you, man. I appreciate it, RS. Thank you, bro, for your service. I was in 07, 08. No shit, Joshua. What was your MOS, man? I'm going to try and catch it. There's a lot going on here. I was delivering to the port that had the USS Texas. I'm happy to see her float again. Also, she looks pissed off. I love Iowa-class battleships. I love them. I adore them. In modern combat against the near peer, they're just not. I hate that, too. I hate it. I would love to fucking rain hell with some 16-inch guns. It's not there, man. And it sucks. I hate it. Okay, did you hear on April 1st, fast food workers are going to get $20 an hour? So here's the thing. I will be honest with you. I used to be against the higher wages. I really was. And until I started looking at how our country was built and like how things were balanced. And the shitty part is in the last 50 years, wages have gone up about 70 to 80%. Which sounds like a lot, until you realize the cost of living has gone almost 300% up. And we think that what's gonna happen is, well, if we pay them more, then it's gonna cost more to produce these goods. And I agree with you. That's how it should work. But how is it gonna work that way when we have companies reporting record profits? Like, we're talking about how inflation is through the roof. You know, how it's so hard to do these things, which means that the margin of your profit margins should be smaller. If inflation is through the roof and it's costing you more to get things, how do we have companies reporting record profits? That's where I have a problem. See that? That's where my brain is at. That's where I'm at. Now, do I agree fast food workers should make $20 an hour? Really depends on the economy. Really, where they're at. California, especially LA area, yeah, that's reasonable. Everywhere else, probably not. Like, if you expect $20 an hour to be a fast food worker in like Pennsylvania, Arkansas, nah, man, homie, that math don't math. As a Marine Corps tow gunner, pushing the button, hearing the gyro spin up, and then no launch, I feel you. I love the tow. I would love to fire a tow, but I never, yeah. Russian sub has radiation event and is being evacuated. That's a thing? Can we get a new story time with Buff soon? Oh, don't worry. Buff is in the video tomorrow. The video dropping at noon Central tomorrow has Buff. So he will be there. I assure you, ladies and gentlemen. The Tango here, I'd like to tell you old ADA stories about Hawk Test and Nike being ICB. 108, no shit. They still had Nike back then? I know they had Hawk. Like Hawk didn't get phased out completely in the US until like '08, I want to say. Just popped in to say I love the content, man, and keep it up, beautiful dog. Yeah. He's got a medical condition called FAT. But yes, he is my best buddy. Oh, you're loving Bravo, Joshua. Okay. Loving Bang Bang. Israel is mad at us now as well. I'm like, cool, back of the line. Here's the thing. But a guy online says the Americans were just shooting kids and raping women, and they're the worst thing in the world. The guy's dumb. Yeah, I thought there was going to be a whole lot more like Rambo shit in Afghanistan. There was not. It was not. And Israel being mad at us, I don't understand why they would be mad at us, because here's the thing. Airdropping in supplies, it's hard to quality control. The terrorists can get a hold of it and say, hey, go do this, and I'll pay your family rice. That's bad. It's bad. But they're building a dock right now, which means that dock is going to be manned by Americans. And that means that Americans are going to be divvying up that food out to the people. That's quality control. So you can feed the people while not arming the bad guys. That's a win. That's a strategic and logistical win for the United States. Thank you, by the way, Devin, for saying I have a beautiful dog. Good old tangos. I love my tangos in small doses. After what I've seen in Ukraine in the last couple of years, we can still considering Russia near peer. So here's Josh. Ooh, you're getting me riled up there, homie. Yes, because they're one of 7 or 8 nations that are nuclear capable. And here's the thing. We don't know if Russia's nukes are even functional. We have no idea. We know they have them. We know they have a large number of them. At least they tell us they have a large number of them. We know that they have the technology to create them. But here's the thing, and I say this to all the well-meaning people out there who are like, Russia will nuke you back to the Stone Age. If you're winning, you don't threaten nukes. Just saying. If you're not worried because you got that shit on lock, you don't threaten nukes. Do you think the U.S. ever threatened to nuke the Taliban? No. Do we ever threaten to nuke Al-Qaeda? No. Do we ever threaten to nuke the Middle East? No. Because that shit was like a fraction of what we could do. That should have been what Ukraine was to Russia. Their tactics, their equipment, their logistics, it was all just a big joke. So, yeah. All right. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right, I am in the right spot. Your cochlear implants. Oh, you word deaf? Question mark? I don't know. I know very little about cochlear implants. Use AI to determine what type of environment I'm in and the best microphone settings to use. AI has a place and could do a lot of good. Yes, absolutely. AI has a place in a lot of places. AI can interpret information. It can make coding easy. If you teach an AI to code, you can write a program in 30 seconds. If you teach it to code effectively and interpret what you're asking it to do. Like which takes software building costs and plummets them. You can have software easily available for the user at any given time, which is wonderful. Medical, just like Ping the Awesome said with this cochlear implant, medical AI. I mean, if you have AI comb through an image of an MRI, they could pick up abnormalities that a human wouldn't be able to notice. You could have earlier detection of certain, life-threatening diseases like cancers and things like that. Like AI, there's a lot of good. There's a lot of bad. There's a show, if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's called Killer Robots. And it's really cool because it shows like the yin and yang of AI. So these guys, they had an AI, and it was a learning model, and they taught it all the chemicals of the periodic table, and they started programming it on how to understand chemical compositions. And this thing would be like, hey, we're trying to cure fucking measles. And it would give you like 70 different like chemical compositions that would deal with measles, which is super cool, right? We could come up with new vaccines to save human lives, and it was doing it at a faster rate than any human ever could. But then they flipped a switch. And they asked it to create life-threatening chemicals against humans. And overnight, in a 10-hour period, it came up with 40,000 materials that are the most toxic fucking things known to man. Obviously, you got like your arsenic, your cyanide, your VX poison gas. It came up with all this stuff. But then even like nerve agents, we haven't even designed yet. And it came up with them overnight, which is one of the scariest things in the world I've ever fucking heard. So yes, AI, scary, but also really useful. Be careful, there's two tangos here. Might need to get some cops. Two tangos against one echo? It's a little uneven. You're going to need a few more tangos. I'm sorry. Gaza is a mess. I agree, Gaza is a mess. We got to understand, like, the world has forgotten what warfare truly looks like. Oh my God.
Would you intercept
The
me?
janitor.
I'd intercept me.
$25 from the janitor, Amri Stronk.
Amory Strunk. Are you going to be bringing any of your t-shirt designs back soon? Yes. Yes. I actually, I dropped 2 new ones today. Did you guys not see that? Hold on. I'm going to, website. Let me go to Bunker Branding. Influencers. Where's me? I don't know why. I would rather be called a creator, but I guess I'm an influencer. Where am I? Oh, there I am. All right, let me go to in-game version. Oh, got that over there. We got the new FAFO. Boom, boom. With this Game of Thrones chair here. Which I had that custom made. Pretty happy about that. And then obviously don't touch the boats with an Arleigh Burke class destroyer. So really happy about that. Really excited. That was a good launch. ZU-23. Oh, hold on. It just jumped down. Amory Strunk. I thought I set it to 50. I guess it set it to 25 as the alternate. Hold on. ZU-23, AAA stuff stinks. Only good for a fireworks show. AAA in general looks really cool as a weapon system. It's not practical anymore. That's why we got rid of them. The US, aside from CRAM, we have no other lead-throwing fucking anti-air. Okay, let me rephrase that. There is like 25 and 30 Mike guns on the top of like DEM SHORAD and shit, but or not DEM SHORAD, Kinetic M SHORAD, but that's more for like people. New Jersey, Wisconsin are a different level of angry. Is the Texas not an Iowa class? My whole life is a lie. Is it really not? Now you got me fucked up. I'm gonna have to look that up. Let's get some likes in there, people. I'm here for it, Charles. Asking for a friend is the only reason militarily we have stake in Israel because of the beachhead. I gotta look at the geography and what's around there. I guess I never really thought about it that way. That it is a good beachhead. It's just all other nations around in that area are pretty hostile. Someone just tagged me in my Discord. What'd you say? I'm gonna check my Discord. Knox, don't moo. Oh. Where's my Discord? Sorry. There's so much going on. It was in the smoke pit. I gotta go to the smoke pit. Okay. All right. I got pinged to the Discord. I can't check that right now in the middle stream, guys. I'm sorry. I've never thought about it like that. Everything else around him is pretty hostile, but I don't know. Did you see the tweet thread including the video of Russia nuking New York City? Rogozin. No. I mean, New York City is kind of like the furthest geographical area from Russia, but if they went over the North Pole, I mean, could get there. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence released their own class threat brief the other day. Thorough explanation on why TikTok and similar were identified as dangerous. Recommend read. Paralogical? Let me add that to my notes. Let me add it to my notes. All right. I will check it out. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but I think Israeli government is mad because it means they can't cut off supplies to Gaza citizens completely anymore. I don't necessarily think so. So here's the thing. If it was a turkey shoot and everybody over there was innocent, don't get me wrong. No one's innocent on either side. Let me just say that. But if it was just a turkey shoot and it was just innocent people getting murdered, that would be one thing. But I know that's not the case. Like the narrative on one side is it's a genocide. They're killing everybody. Okay. Israelis are still dying. IDF are still dying. That doesn't mean you're a helpless victim. The people in Auschwitz were not killing Nazis. That's why it was a genocide. Does that make sense to people? So, like, yes, IDF is killing more than the Palestinians are killing. Got it. That makes sense. But the Palestinians are still, Hamas is still killing members of the IDF. So, I don't know. I have no idea. Army strong. The Navy is actively doing studies on nuclear-powered super dreadnoughts to consolidate numbers of ships. Hell yeah. Who play Hell's Divers 2? When I can. 19 Kilo, what's up, Damon? Canadian shirt. I had a design. Got to figure out when I can launch. Where's Grandpa Buff?
Grandpa Buff's never very far. He's always around here, and trust me, I'll be on video tomorrow. I worked on some stuff for you guys. I think you'll really like it.
I have to be able to hear myself, so. BBQ Rat now being sold in New York City. I believe it. New York City is, yeah. Texas existed decades before the Iowa class. Hold on. I did look up the Texas history. I thought it got... No, I guess you're right. Because it started out in, like, right after World War One. Went through World War II. Was upgraded several times. Fought in Korea. And then was retired, if I'm not mistaken. New York class. She was obsolete by World War II, but we still gangster leaned at Normandy. I stand corrected. Cheers from a medically retired 15 whiskey. I'm hoping to be there with you, creature. I'm getting everything in my body looked at. We're getting there. It was New York class, but it was finished first. Oh. Tell us the goal of warfare in Buff serious tone. Since it's a heavy topic, we need Grandpa to tell us straight.
Grandpa's never gonna bring out that voice unless it's absolutely needed.
How would you describe color to a blind person? It's like the different tastes on your tongue, but for your eyes. Welcome to the future. Will more buffs get built, or will we keep rebuilding our existing birds? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's still a very capable... the main difference, and I figured this out the other day, I was thinking about it. I was like, why do we keep these three different types of bombers in service? And, the B1 is when you want to get in and get out quickly. The B2 is when you want to get in and no one knows you're there. You can hang out as long as you want to and you can leave, and they're still never going to know you were there until everything starts exploding. And the B-52 is when you're trying to send a fucking message. They're going to know you're coming. They're going to know you're there. And they're going to know you're leaving. Like, they're going to know everything about that. But that's when you're like, I'm here. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why I laugh when people are like, we lost the war in Afghanistan. We lost the war in Iraq. Okay, let's roll this back. Okay. The United Kingdom, right, lost the American Revolution for various reasons. Nothing against you Brits. You were fighting France. You guys were kind of all over the place. Okay, I get it. Farmers and pitchforks, but you guys were kind of all over the place. I tried to understand all the history. But the United Kingdom lost the revolution against America. against Americans. Okay. Can the United Kingdom fly drones over the United States at any point in time that they want to and start taking out American civilians with zero repercussions? Nope. We've done it like 90 times in Afghanistan with knife missiles. Fuck they gonna do about it? Go ahead, tell me we lost. We got bored. You bitches hid for 20 years. The last time terrorists decided to go toe-to-toe with the United States was the Battle of Fallujah. That was the last time. I don't know if you guys know the story of the Battle of Fallujah. America, for like days prior, threw down all these leaflets like, we're coming, you better get out. And the bad guys were like, we will meet them here, and we will kill all of the Americans. And don't get me wrong, wasn't an easy fight, but they found out real fucking quick. You don't stand toe-to-toe with Uncle Sam. Just don't do it. Just go and hide in your fucking mud hut, wait till they go by and they're not paying attention to anything, then go ahead and dig a hole, plant an IED because it's safer and you'll lose less people. That was the last time an insurgency decided they were like, let's fucking go for it. Let's do it. And they learned real goddamn quick. Sorry. Farmers and pitchforks, the American militia was being trained by the bloody French. You're not wrong. I mean, they were being trained by the French, but you still gotta like have a little, you gotta have some guts. Legend right here, man. All right, sorry, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Do I see us pulled into another hot war soon? No, I don't. I think wars from now on will be fought economically.
Would you
I really do.
me? I'd intercept me.
Thank you, the janitor.
$5 from the janitor. Thank you for your service, HLC.
Thank you for yours. Hey, you know what's funny? You talk like, you're the janitor. I was a janitor once too, at Ivinson Memorial Hospital in Laramie, Wyoming. I used to have to clean the morgue. Fuck that. Nope. People say being a janitor is easy. No, the fuck it's not. Hell no it ain't. So, I got you, janitor. Democracy. Thank you, Fundum BB. Appreciate it, man. Trying to see. If they had the tech, yes. Are you talking about like the United Kingdom flying over the U.S. without any repercussions? I don't know. Need to know who would win, the Irish Republican Army or the U.S. militia. Militia 1776 or modern? Because the modern, I'm going to be totally honest with you, is a bunch of fucking prima donna white boys who like couldn't exist without Wi-Fi and electricity. I'm just being real with people. I'm sorry. From what I've seen from the American militia nowadays, right? What I've seen is a whole bunch of loot crates. Dudes who have a whole bunch of firepower but haven't trained on any of it. Dudes who have no survival skills. Dudes who have a bunker with like, I got 6 months worth of food. Congratulations. You are an amazing loot crate. You can't drop a target at long range. You don't have any idea how to live in the wilderness. I'm sorry. But 1776, those boys went hard. They went real fucking hard. But I don't know enough about the Irish Republican Army to make an assessment there. I really don't. How was the vacay? We had to call it early. Mrs. Linecrosser, she got real sick. So we had to go. Yeah, Fundum, I'm sub to you. That's why there's a little check mark next to your name, my dude. He was a janitor, then became a tactical janitor. I'm pretty much the same thing. That's all I am now. Did I hear the groans of the dead from the freezer? No. Okay, I will tell you this story. Okay, me, like I was 18. I was 18, almost 19. Had to go clean the morgue. By the way, our coroner, she was a very nice lady. She was on her way in. There was a fresh body in there. I didn't move the body. This is when I learned, I don't know if you know this, but bodies, not just like twitch and shit, they curl up in the fetal position. Now you know. If you knew that already, I fucking didn't, right? I'm in there mopping, fresh body on the table. It's very cold in there. I still have to clean everything up, make sure everything's good to go before the coroner gets there. So I'm taking out trash, doing my thing. All of a sudden, I hear a thud. And as I'm turning around, the sheet falls off of this body. And I proceed to run down the fucking hallway screaming at the top of my lungs that it was a zombie invasion. I was terrified. I was fucking terrified, okay? What the body did is he was laying flat and he curled up in the fetal position and thunk fell onto his side. And when he did, the sheet fell off. And that's when I caught wind of it and I ran like a bitch. There's no shame in my game. This is the thing. I ain't afraid of nothing alive, right? I ain't afraid, like fucking, if as long as I'm armed, I ain't afraid of bears, mountain lions. I ain't afraid of this shit. No, I ain't afraid of none of that. Zombies make me pucker a little bit. Vampires, fuck that. I'm sorry. I'm going to be real with you guys. Ghosts, I mean, I kind of got a weird bone to pick with ghosts because, like, on the one hand, I can't blow holes in a ghost. I can't fucking pew-pew a ghost, right? But then if the ghost kills me, then I'm going to be standing there as a ghost with the ghost like, the fuck, dude? Like, I don't know. I got a weird feeling about ghosts. So, HLC is surviving for sure. Imagine your coworkers are alive. Bro, it was, fuck that. No, Hold on. Doing some hackathons. Hold on. So true. I hunt and I have survival skills. There you go. Don't fear the man who has a lot of guns. Fear the man who trains with one gun. Can we get a video featuring the B2? The character hasn't come to me yet. I want to. The B2 should be mentioned. Absolutely. It's just the character isn't there yet, and I don't know what it's going to be. One of my last novels featured a modern militia. A lot of research. I was unimpressed. Exactly. So here's the thing. People always talk about, like, don't invade the U.S. because we have fucking trillions of guns and shit. Great. It's not that demographic you need to worry about. That's not the demographic you need to worry about. Respectfully, you guys got a lot of firepower. I mean, you can throw a lot of bullets. And you're going to get some lucky shots. Cool. The demographic they need to worry about is the 3 or 4 million vets that just spent 20 years fighting an insurgency. When you fight an insurgency, you learn how an insurgency operates. You learn how to make homemade explosives. You learn how to build pressure plates out of saw blades, styrofoam, a chunk of a tire, and saran wrap that is completely waterproof. Ask me how I fucking know. Okay? You learn how to do all this shit. You learn how to blend in with the population. You learn how to make sure your caches may be found, but they will never be found with you. 20 years. We got 3 or 4 million fucking vets that all hit that are all there. Sorry. I'm pretty sure the Battle of Fallujah were the incident involving Marines scoring in alarming numbers of headshots. I heard about that. I don't know how true that is. I haven't read that anywhere, but I've heard it. It was Rogers Rangers immune to the cold. Today they're a soft taco and digital cam. Bro, some yes, some no. Like these guys, what happens if Ukraine is Georgia next? Number one, I don't foresee Ukraine losing. I don't. And I hate it, but the goal is not to give enough, and I don't like this, and it's a fucked up way to play God. If the goal was to defeat Russia, we would have given Ukraine enough troops and equipment to solve this problem very quickly. But it's not. The goal is to cause enough casualties in Russia that either they deal with Vladimir Putin or he abandons the campaign because he realizes it's too costly. He gets to save face. Russia doesn't threaten to nuke anybody else. Ukraine gets to do their thing. And America technically kept our side of the bargain. I don't know what the answer is. What zombie movie had the best zombie survival plan? Ooh, that's a great one. I want to say 28 Days Later. I really do. Just get out of town, get the fuck away from everybody else, and let them starve themselves out. But that's only Hollywood zombies. If we're talking Romero zombies, like a lot of people are like Zombieland, cardio, they got all the rules. The first rule of Zombieland is not cardio. I'm sorry. You fight me on this. Don't care. The first rule of Zombieland has never been cardio. It is Everything is a weapon. That's rule number one. I'll hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker. I don't care. I'll grab a small dude by the ankles and swing him at zombies. Do not give a shit. I'll throw a chair at him. I don't have to run away if everything I see is a weapon. Fast or slow zombies? Real zombies. What are we talking about? Bro, I got ADS. What is ADS? Now I'm curious. Fear an old man in a job where young men die, or where men die young and often. Yes and no. Here for your PTSD janitor experience. It happens. Bro, please have a drink for me on your zombie experience. I would love to. Madam EXE, I would love to. I will tell you.
Would you intercept
Haven Lady, thank you.
I'd intercept me.
I'm not drinking right now.
$5 from Haven Lady, my goat HLC. This has been bugging me a lot. But I want to know if the America invades Middle East for oil is true or not. If not, where did the myth come from?
That's a great question. It's a great question. Let me get to that. I'm working my way down. Love prima donna white boys, but please don't hate me. There's a correlation between Hamas, Israel funding, and U.S. Taliban or primordial Taliban funding. Yes and no. The Taliban was funded by, eventually, Iran and Pakistan. The Hamas is the same thing. So is Hezbollah. So is, Iran figured out the cheat code. They figured it out. You can spend money on terrorist organizations, and those terrorist organizations can effectively attack the U.S. and their allies without triggering Article 5 because they're not an organized, country. That's all it is. It's not considered an attack. And terrorism doesn't recognize borders. So the shitty part and why Hamas is freaking the fuck out is because they can't run to the sea because America's there. They can't run south to Egypt because Egypt won't let them through. They can't get out the other way because Israel is there. So, that's why they're playing onto social media so very much because there's no way for them to get out. The Taliban, however, every time we fight them, they'd run to Pakistan. Every single time. Al-Qaeda would run to Iran. So, please, the drink, yep. I've not drank in about a month. I'm on some medication. I can't. All right, hold on. Let me get down. God says win. So it's like the U.S. and Vietnam, more Russian casualty equals more public outcry, more pressure on Putin. That's the same thing. Honestly, I hate that. That fucking bugs me. But that is probably the most accurate thing I've ever heard. Because China and Russia were supplying weapons to the North Vietnamese in order to cause American casualties en masse. And the North Vietnamese were paying the bloody price of going toe-to-toe with the United States. That fucking hurts. I have not thought about it like that. I love your vids. Bought 3 line crosser shirts, 2 stands. That's what the fuck is up, my dude. I appreciate it. Attention deficit. Ooh, shiny. It really is. All right. Any chance for a Coast Guard character? I should bring in a Coast Guard cutter. That's a really good, or like a Coast Guard helicopter, the Black Hawk, the Seahawk, whatever the fuck they're called. Yeah, I should bring in one of those. Coast Guard. I'm going to add that to the notes. Actually, I might already have. No, it's right here. Yeah. I should fuck with Coast Guard. B2 gives a lot of Senator Armstrong vibes from Metal Gear Rising. I'm not a Metal Gear fan. Let me look into that one and let me get back to you. All right. My GOAT HLC has been bugging me a lot. I want to know if the America invades Middle East for oil is true or not. If not, where did the myth come from? So, Iraq, it might have been true, but we didn't take enough oil out of Iraq to offset the cost of that war. We didn't. So that would have been a terrible business decision by us. Afghanistan, definitely not. Afghanistan didn't really have very much oil. Actually, less than the state of Nebraska. And we didn't even know it was there until 2008. So we invaded something for 7 years for oil that we didn't even know existed until 7 years later. Afghanistan has a lot of gems. They have a lot of iron ore. They have a lot of mineable materials, like stone materials. But we never took any of that shit. the idea of that coming from probably, I would say, stems from a little bit of propaganda from them. So they thought they legitimately thought we were coming for oil, so they lit their oil fields on fucking fire. They lit their oil fields on fire. Thinking that it would slow us down and whatever. There's probably some corporate greed in there somewhere, but the U.S. government didn't seize any of that shit. As far as I'm tracking, we didn't even protect the oil fields. That's as far as I know. I don't have any more information I can give you than that. Do I see the UK's new laser weapon called Dragonfire, and Ukraine is strapping US-made claymores to their drones and turning them into shotguns? Oh God, I love innovation. And claymores on drones. That is fucking diabolical. I don't know if you guys, has anyone in chat ever seen a claymore actually go off? I have. You see it in basic training. At least in the army, you get to see it in basic training. It's not like Call of Duty. It's not click, boom. You know, like in, oh man, I was 5 feet away. If I was closer, it'll level a fucking building. Like, they are much larger than Call of Duty makes them seem. So, okay. Take the Call of Duty Claymore, right? The Claymore on Call of Duty. Take the 500-pound bomb from Helldivers. Probably right in between those is how an actual Claymore goes off. Somewhere right in there. That's the best explanation. And just hope, and it's not like, oh, I was behind it, I'm safe. No, you're still gonna get fucked up for a little ways behind it, too. Like, it's not just perfectly in one direction. Claymores are huge, man. So that would be effective. I don't know how they're triggering them, though. Have I had any luck researching meads? So I did. I actually made an entire recording of meads. And I talked about it, and I talked about it in depth. And then by the time I got to the end of my research, I found out Meads has been nixed. Meads is gone. Instead, they went with IBCS, which is the system I worked on. Because I was reading Meads, and I was like, this seems like IBCS. Because I worked on that program for 4 years. And so I just kept researching, and I was like, oh, Germany. This is Germany's version of IBCS. Oh, this is integrating all these sensors, just like IBCS. And then it was gone. It's nixed, and IBCS is the new thing that they're on through Northrop Grumman. I don't know why it got nixed. I don't know if it failed a limited user test bad enough. I have no idea. Don't know what the answer is. April makes 20 years for me. I got picked for recruiter, so 23 years. Skinny Thor, you're gonna. Ooh. You know, Skinny Thor, that you can, at least in the Army, I don't know if you're Army, you can submit your retirement 2 years out. So, I'll give you some horns there. They fucking typos, what did I miss? HLC went from mopping floors to mopping skies to mopping misinformation off the internet. I'm here for it, Ben. It's fucking great. I will tell you, most of the things that I've shot down is morale. Yep. Why is bro putting ads on live streams? You already have donations. So I started doing that a while ago because this is the thing. I got it. The donations are there. This is my time. I mean, you don't want to watch, you don't gotta watch. Nothing personal, man. I'm gonna cook some omelets, Jack. Have you had any luck? Oh, yeah, we already went over that. It's an excellent demonstration of FAFO. C4 strapped to a drone. Well, I mean, that's ultimately what a Claymore is. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if we have any EOD guys in here. I'm pretty sure a Claymore is actually C4, because I know grenades are composition B. And door charges are C4 with det cord. Yeah, it should be C4. I think that's what's inside a Claymore. There's ads, you haven't gotten any? I did turn it on, but I'm not even sure if they work, so I was like, we'll see. Hold on, who, what? James Rose, what? Oh, missed the comment? My bad, hold on. So yes, that's called, so Samuel goes, I don't know about the name, but Israel's using lasers in the initial missile barrage. That is called Iron Beam. I don't know if they have actually been using those lasers. I know that the first ever fielded laser defense system is Iron Beam from Israel. It's the first one that's ever been fielded. Now, fielded is not in full production. Field is kind of the gray area between developmental test and like at the tail end of operational test. And they push it out. Then the U.S., of course, we have ours on board the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. We have it on board the carriers. We have it on board the Strykers, the directed energy maneuver short-range air defense. And I think the F-35 is getting that upgrade. I'm not positive. Is the thing. People are like, well, we can put, because it's a fancy aircraft, we can put this laser on it. Aircraft are often limited by a couple of different categories. Number one, weight. Right? Because you need enough thrust to get that weight up. Every aircraft in existence has a max amount of takeoff weight. And if you exceed that takeoff weight, you could damage the fucking structure of that aircraft. You could fuck up the landing gear when you come down. You could do any number of things. Crash. Like there's a lot of bad shit that could go wrong. But number two, they're also limited because just like a car, they have, I think it's called a generator. I don't know. Ask Weapons. They generate electricity. Might be an alternator. It's like an alternator in a car, right? As the motor fucking turns with fuel, it generates electricity. So there's only so much electricity that a plane can generate based off of its size. If you and the unsubscribed folks were on a plane that crashed and you had to eat the person to stave off starvation, who would you eat first and why is it the fat electrician? I disagree, I am Dar. That's a tough one. I will be totally honest with you. I am incredibly close with Nick and Eli. I actually knew Nick before I knew Eli. So like that's I don't want to do the fat electrician. I don't. And Eli has been an amazing human. So I don't want to do that. I have been a fan of Cody since I discovered YouTube. Like I fucking love Donut. Right? Love that dude. And Brandon. He's just a beautiful man. That's fucking tough. I may have to go for Brandon. I may have to. And that may be where I go. I will eat the Karen. So what do I know about the new system? Boeing tested this last week in Florida. Now the system is attached to a small body bomb and then launched from multi-launch. So MLRS. Range 150K. Not familiar. That might be the Prism rounds that they're talking about. I think it's Prism. I don't fucking remember the name of it. Yeah. They have generators. See, thank you, Weapons. He knows this. Magen Ore was scheduled to go into full production this year. Oh. That's a fucking good one, man. That one about like EOD is difficult training to pass. Big facts. There's a lot of math in EOD, and people don't understand that because, like, okay, you have to, when you're trying to blow something up, right? EOD does a lot of that. They blow shit up. You have to know. You have to know how much det cord you need. You need to know how much C4 you need to eliminate the charge without wasting it. You need to know how much would be too much. You need to know the safety range you need to be at. You need to know how much timer fuse you need and how much air and ground clearance that explosion is going to need. Like, it's fucking math, bro. I mean, eventually you get used to it, but like, shit. Iron Dome versus Iron Beam. Iron Beam is what it's called, but APU, Auxiliary Power Unit. There we go. The aux power unit is a mini jet engine that doesn't always run. Hold on. If the F-22 is getting upgraded, relations with the aliens must be deteriorating rapidly. I was as surprised as you. Like I get random alerts on my phone that'll say, "Hey, this news story came out. This news story came out," and It said, U.S. Air Force goes back on their retiring of the F-22. And as soon as I saw that, like I was sitting with my wife and we were having a conversation and I was like, shut the fuck up. This is important. It's about the kid. And there's like 500,000 people that want me to tell them when something happens with the fucking kid, right? I need to know. They haven't said what the upgrade is. They've said that there are some that have outlasted their usability, and those ones will be. I don't know what block they are. I have no idea. But then they said the other ones will be upgraded. I don't know what that means. Like I'm not there. I'm eagerly awaiting more information. If the tech is there, hopefully. Hope everyone's having a great day. Nicholas, I hope you're having a great day. HLC 2030. Oh, no. I am far too honest for politics. No, thank you. And I have a short fuse. I can't sit there in a congressional hearing and be like, can I have a minute? Can I have 1 minute on the clock? And there's someone up there like, you can talk for a minute. No. If I got called in front of Congress, I would find out if there was a clause for a trial by combat, and I would request that. I'd be like, I want to fight everybody on this board. Give me a trial by combat. Let's fucking go. Like, oh, he can't do that. Well, it says right here. This shit from like 1840. He absolutely can. There was a dude in the UK. It was like a parking ticket for like 10 pounds or some shit. It was a parking ticket. Guy was like 80 something years old. And he was like, I choose trial by combat. And the judge was like, you can't do that. And he's like, absolutely, I can. And it's right here. I can 100% ask for a trial by combat. And the judge was just like, you don't got to pay the ticket, dude. It's dismissed. You're fine. Have a good day. Because that 80-year-old man came in and is like, I want the smoke. I want all the smoke. That was the British buff. That's what came through the door. That's exactly what happened. He wanted all the fucking smoke. Not retired, just parked in the desert. That's fair. Hello, Line Crosser. Hello, Enterprise. Big E, what's up? F-22C upgraded with F-35 tech. Do it, Air Force. I mean... It's doable, I think. I don't know how much room is inside an F-22. I've never really stared at one. The people here are very smart. Remember how the USA didn't sell the F-22 to anyone? Interesting. Oh, yeah. Wow, tell your wife to shut up. She understands. Sometimes my brain, the comedy-tism takes over. Been at meetings all week with congressmen? Oh, Mirandy, I'm so sorry. I'm far too, yeah. What do I think about the idea that Budweiser does not have a spec ops unit called Jägermeister, and they're missing a great opportunity? I'm so confused about that entire statement. Can you please explain, Alan? Hell yeah, bring back Congressman Duels. If Andrew Jackson can do it, why can't we? Andrew Jackson, I found out that guy was a fucking loose cannon. He had over 100 pistol duels while he was in office. 3 of which while he was president. That man was an absolute fucking unit. The kid is being upgraded with proton torpedoes and flux capacitor.
Grandpa, what's a flux capacitor? Said something about gigawatts. Is that bullets?
There we go. I may fucking throw that in the next video. I still want Sister HLC to slap you with cheese. Fuck that. Maybe. It might be funny. Jägermeister translate to Hunter Master. Oh man. It's my wife. Hold on. Yes. Hold on. Estrogen Bandit said I missed their super chat. I'm looking. Are you back downstairs? Okay. I'm not seeing... Oh, Estrogen Bandit. Why does Grandpa Buff get so many upgrades, and why you make the kid as a gothic kid in their teens? Okay, I see it. I'm trying to stay on the super chats. Don't yell at me, woman. All right. Love you. Bye. Okay. Estrogen Bandit, I'm sorry. Thank you. Mrs. Linecrosser's been watching to make sure. Why does Grandpa Buff get so many upgrades? And why do you make the kid as gothic kid in their teens that likes to watch anime? Grandpa Buff gets all those upgrades because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Things don't last for very long because they have like an hour limit, or they start to break too much, or it's just too expensive to keep them rolling. And Grandpa Buff was built, and it's just like, it stays running. Like, I genuinely believe this, just because of maintenance costs and capability. I feel like the C-17 is going to outlast the C-5 and the C-130. It's a very reliable aircraft. It's a solid aircraft. It's a fucking powerhouse. It can carry a lot. Like, it's a great cargo aircraft. The C-5 can carry more, but it falls apart. It breaks all the damn time. The C-130 is great, but it's a prop job. It's slow, and its range is incredibly limited. C-17 is like the best of both worlds. Logistics win war. Grandpa Buff is built for life. He really is. And why did I make the kid that way? So, I didn't necessarily mean for the character to turn out that way, but the way I looked at it is, I read about the kid. I read what he could do. I read what he was capable of, and then I read that he's never done his job. So originally I went with like would you F me? I'd F me, which is the dude from Silence of the Lambs, the Buffalo Bob or whatever. And it just kind of morphed into what it is today. So I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry I missed it. I'm glad Mrs. Linecrosser caught it. Okay, I read that one. Read that one. Okay, I'm caught back up. Built for life to deliver death. We trying in this house. Can Patriot take down the tactical nuclear weapons? It depends on the platform it's launched from. So this is the thing. All you have, the way weapons in general work. So a weapon is ultimately a delivery system. So what you're doing is you're taking this, sorry, not the weapon, a missile. So if you have a nuclear weapon, you can drop it from a plane. You can fire it inside a ballistic missile. You can possibly fit it in a cruise missile. You can do an intercontinental ballistic missile. You can do a lot of those different things. And it really depends. So out of an aircraft, absolutely. Glide bombs don't go that far. Remember, the unclassified range of Patriot is 150 kilometers. That is what Google says. It used to be 100 kilometers. If you watch some of my older videos, it said 100. And then the war in Ukraine kicked off, and now they say 150. Mrs. Linecross also just told me, dogs get treats. And so keep that in mind. And here's a Buffalo cookie. You want another one, Knox? Come on. Good boy. All right, go on. Here, Rain, you get one more. All right. So when you say tactical nuclear weapons, that's kind of an ambiguous term. Ballistic missile format, absolutely. So here's the thing. A lot of people assume, and Travis, it's okay if you haven't been around very long. I try and explain this very often. And a regular conventional explosive requires two things: heat and pressure. More or less. Okay, to be set off. A nuclear weapon is far more complex. You have a series of processes that have to happen in a very specific order in order for that weapon to go off. If you hit it really hard with a missile, those processes are probably not going to happen in the proper order, and chances of that weapon going off are very reduced. All you have to do is really take out a battery, and the whole system is screwed. I hope that makes sense. All right, let me go back up. All right, got that one. My grandmother died this morning. Thanks for giving me a couple laughs today. Jacob, you're welcome, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That's that sucks, man. I'm genuinely sorry to hear that. Lost both my grandmothers a long time ago. So I feel you. Weapons seem to die a little inside. Hold on, Brian. What? I think the C-130 would end a war quickly with Rapid Dragon. So Brian, Rapid Dragon is really cool. It is an interesting design, like being able to carry cruise missiles that can independently target locations in a palletized format for easy release. Great. I don't even know if they can do C-130. I know they can do C-17 with it. I don't know if they can do C-130. But here's the kicker. Against a near-peer adversary, it's kind of a pointless system because you're not going to have air supremacy. So the difference between air superiority and air superiority means that every time their planes take off, they don't have a chance to do anything because you're on. Air supremacy means their planes can't get off the damn runway. So against a near-peer threat, you now have a large, slow-moving, easy-to-intercept object carrying a large amount of ordnance in one central location. So that's the problem with that, and I think that's what he's trying to get at. Jacob, again, I'm sorry about that. Just wanted to donate to support another brother in arms. Thank you so much, Christopher Strong. I appreciate you being here, my dude. Raina Knox in the F-35. DOG. Mrs. HLC sees all. She does. She's probably in this chat right now. Hold on. Big top talk. What? Not sure. Not my circus, not my monkeys. What? I'm trying to stay up with everything. Poland, Little America. I like the Polish. I really, so I've had people reach out to me who are Polish and they're like, yo, I discovered your videos over here and I've shared them with all my Polish friends and they absolutely love it. Mrs. Linecrosser, I'm about to remove her moderator privileges. She doesn't get in here and ever work, you know? I'm going to get a phone call here in a second. You need to stop. Wore my Intercept Me shirt for my first colonoscopy. That is hands down the best time to wear that shirt. Beyond any reasonable doubt. That is, you know what? I am Dar. I applaud you. I absolutely applaud you. You're a brave man. The nurse read it, laughed, and said you're about to get intercepted, sort of. I was confused. That's funny. That is wonderful. Still no comment on the F-16 or the A-10. I've used them before. It's just a matter of when. I've used the F-16 and the A-10. The F-16 is more of a Ryan Reynolds type character, and the A-10 is kind of a crackhead. That's what I go. Space Banana? No. Happily married, man. It's fine. Poland is based. I do like Poland. Okay, so first, yes, the C-130 can take it, but the slow is the point. It just looks like any other cargo bird. But with one bird, you can fuck up so much. Yes, Wolfram, I agree. However, once it starts letting loose its payload, it's going to get figured out pretty well. So part of the reason we use large numbers of bombers for bombing campaigns yes, a limiting factor was the amount of bombs they could carry, but it also meant that not all the bombs were in one central location. The U.S. strike packages everything. Everything. And we fight 3-1. So we try and have, if we estimate you have 15 aircraft, we're sending 45. But those 45 are going to be a tailored set of aircraft to combat everything your aircraft can do. So they're going to have like Growlers, they're going to have F-35s, they're going to have probably F-16s, and maybe an F-22. So they're going to have a conglomerate to figure out, obviously who has the best probability of kill against those threats, who's going to get the earliest lock, who has the best sensor management capability, and who has the best jamming capability. That's all boom, 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 boom. If Eli voiced a character, so once upon a time, we did it once, I was busy. Eli did voice China. Eli does an amazing China. I love it, and I need to get him to do it again. What was that one? Still waiting for Kurwa in your country videos when it comes to Polska. I need to do that, Senpai. I really need to. That's like an exclamation in Poland, right? Like Kurwa? I think I said that right, Kurwa? It's like almost a rolled R. Is it like kurwa? It's I'm fucking it up. Oh my god. Bring more F-15. Unbiased opinion, you should make a Sherman character. When I do older videos, I absolutely like messing with like the stuff like that. What would the YF-23's personality be? I don't know. I don't know enough about the YF-23. I have a little aluminum sign someone sent to me of the YF-23 over there, and I haven't done enough homework on it. I'm so sorry. Can we see more of the Tomcat? I love the Tomcat. I just don't have a reason to use the Tomcat. Maybe I'll figure out a reason to use it. I'll try. Speaking of Poland, do y'all remember that video of America tourist jerk harassing the Indian man? Kept asking him, why are you invading Poland? Like, dude, why? I don't remember that, Haven Lady. Honestly, I have no idea. I am unfamiliar. Convert the B-1s to electronic warfare aircraft with JASSM? That's scary. It's the thing. Like, the things that America does, I was thinking about it. Like, there is no logical reason for us to have a knife missile. There's none. You would have gotten the exact same result with less cost just hitting them with an inert missile. Like, that's it. You're hitting somebody with an object that weighs 70 pounds at Mach 2. You don't need to put knives on it. Like, there's no reason to do that. It's completely overkill, right? And we as Americans, like, yeah, it's a knife missile, and everyone tries to downplay it, but can you imagine if someone else came up with that shit? Like, if we turned on the news one day and like, oh, the Russian air-to-surface knife missile took out political opposition, we'd be like, what the fuck is a knife missile? Are these guys out of their goddamn mind? But because it was America, everyone's like, yeah, figures. All right, makes sense. Fucking now they have a knife missile. I want to stab that guy way over there. How do I do that? Knife missile. Like, it's an American... Like, it's completely pointless. Like, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But it's, some engineer just spent way too much time. Like, he collected swords. And he was the guy in charge of this. They're like, we need you to build a missile. Limit the amount of collateral damage with it. You can arm it with some minor charges. Just whatever you really want to do. We want this. Like, if I'm standing next to somebody, we want to be able to hit that somebody with a missile without hurting me. And the guy's like, oh, okay. And at first he did some real stuff. And then he probably drank way too fucking much. He just sat there in his room because he's single. I guarantee he's got like a 2-bedroom apartment. He's single. He's got like 4 cats. He sits there, this engineer, and he's just throwing them back. And he's probably playing like Ghosts of Tsushima or something. I don't know when year this thing came out. He's probably playing some samurai video game or watching Samurai Jack or some anime. And he's just like, this is my best impression. Fucking swords. Like, that's probably exactly how that entire experience went down. Like, there's no reason we should have that, but I love it. I love this country so much. What is my thoughts on a Growler versus an F-22? Great. I love that. Hang on, let me scroll, make sure I didn't miss anybody else. I just want to make sure. Okay, I didn't miss anybody else. What are my thoughts on the Growler versus the F-22? That's actually a really cool matchup. Because the F-22, the way the system kind of is its bread and butter, is it can leave its radar in passive. Passive is, instead of, think of it like a radio, right? But instead of being able to transmit, it's only receive. So no one can hear you, but you can hear them. That's the way stealth aircraft really get their bread and butter, is they're far out and they're going in the direction they think the threat is from. Now, that thing is designed to mess up all kinds of radars. So normally what happens is that radar gets within range of the F-22. Now the F-22 is in passive, and he knows the distance and direction that aircraft is coming from. That aircraft doesn't even know the F-22 is there. So then they can kick on their systems, launch their missile when their radar is on, send it, and eliminate the threat. Now, the Growler really leaves some interesting ideas there, because I don't even know if I can answer this question unclassified. Because I want to say the F-22 would be able to get in range with its passive sensor without being detected by the Growler, but I don't know if that's the case. Now, there are a couple of different types of jammers out there. Ooh, I can't go into jammer types. Wait, yeah, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't do jammer types. Okay, sorry. There's different types of jamming out there. Some of them, I will tell you, are on all the time. Some of them are only on when they detect a radar. So it really depends on the way. Yeah. I can't really. Warsuit's like HLC actively trying to keep his job. I'm trying, man. It's F-16 versus F-15. Who wins? Ooh. It depends. They both have about the same target solution range. So what matters is the range of their munitions and their target solution range. And they're both about equal. Now, some would argue, well, the F-15 has more thrust-to-weight ratio. It means it's faster. It can do better things. But the F-16 is hyper-maneuverable. Like, arguably one of the most maneuverable aircraft that has ever existed. It has its turn radius it's like a descent turn radius or something like that. It's pretty much how tight a corner can be before you start losing altitude. Every aircraft has like a radius. I can't remember exactly what the radius is called. The F-16s is like tighter than fucking everybody's. BVR, if they both knew each other was there, I'm probably going to give it to the F-16 because they have about the same target lock range, and the F-16 it's a slippery fucking character. So the F-16, if it can maneuver within range of that F-15 and it gets within visual range, the 15's fucked. It's going to be a fight, but I think if you were to like simulate it, I'd say it's probably a 70-30 F-16. All right. The R9X is like a rocket-powered blender to the face. It really is. It's completely unnecessary. There's just no reason we should have designed that. Like, I can't think, like, I try and put logic to everything. Like, well, why do we design Patriot? Well, to be able to shoot down missiles and be able to protect the force. Oh, okay. Why do we build tanks? Well, because tanks were a good way to breach the battlefield during trench warfare in World War I. Oh, that makes sense. Why do we build artillery? Indirect fires can help, maneuver your forces out there and suppress the enemy so you can maintain fire superiority. Oh, that makes sense. Why do we build a knife missile? I don't fucking know. I'm sorry. Like, it's just, we would have had the same damn result with an empty missile. The exact same. We could have put a handful of rocks inside a missile and it would have had the same result. We could have filled it with fucking easy cheese and it would have had the same result. Like, it doesn't make any damn sense. We could have put anything in it. Anything. But 13-inch blades is the direction we went in. Carter's like, because it's funny, obviously. Let me see. Did I miss anybody else? Knife missiles for direct kills with minimal damage. I agree, Anubis. Counterpoint. You could do the exact same thing with a missile that had no explosives inside it. You could have just taken a Hellfire and removed the explosive charge. And bam, you now hit a person with a missile that weighs 70 pounds at Mach 2. They're not walking away from that. Same result. But we put knives on it. Still doesn't make any damn sense. I love it. I love it. Because Looney Tunes, surplus kit write-off. Is it true the F-22 isn't going to be retired? Yes, not all of them. Some of them, yes, not all of them. Fill it with stale bread. You could have put anything in there. Favorite World War II tank? Absolutely. Oh, I love the Sherman. I love the Sherman. Don't get me wrong. It's an iconic tank. I mean, when you think American armor, the Sherman is the first thing that pops into my mind. Like, out of everything else that we've ever designed, over the M60, over the Abrams, over everything else we've ever made, the Sherman is what I think of when I think of American armor. Okay? And I used to be a tanker. I used to work on the Abrams. But that fucking Tiger. God. And it wasn't like the Tiger chassis wasn't any better in any way than the Sherman. It wasn't, right? Like the chassis, it was welded hull versus cast. I mean, cost, size, armor thickness. You could argue all those things. It just wasn't better in those ways. It was that motherfucking gun, the German 88, which is arguably one of my favorite guns that have ever existed. It was efficient, it was lightweight, it was easy to use, it was easy to emplace, the rounds were easy to use, the muzzle velocity was through the roof, the range was through the roof, the penetration was through the roof. It was arguably one of the most devastating big bore guns in World War II. Like, I love it. Sorry, just 104-0 versus 76-0. Stats speak for themselves. That's fair. That's fair, but But how many times have the F-16 gone against threats versus the F-15? I guess that makes sense. Weapons. We can't retire it until NGAD. He's not wrong. Next generation air dominance. The Super Pershing is pretty based. It is. The Pershing is a pretty tank. It really is. I just growled. They didn't name the knife missile. The slap chop was a mistake. Bro, so I was working on there's a program, obviously the fucking Directed Energy Maneuver Short Range Air Defense, DEM SHORAD for short. It's a striker with a freaking laser beam on its head. Cool ass design. Great, fucking just awesome that America came up with this. Spent like $3 billion developing this program. That's a lot of money. It doesn't make phaser sounds. The laser doesn't light up. Like it is a colorless, invisible, silent laser. And they're like, it's tactical. Like, cool. Make it colorless. Make it invisible. That makes sense because you don't want the enemy to be able to trace it back to you. That's cool. But when I'm shooting it, I want to hear the Death Star. We can have a knife missile, but I can't get sound effects when I'm off in something. That's a complete failure of research and development. So I feel you there. What are the pros and cons of being able to shoot an anti-tank guided missile out of the barrel of a main battle tank? Okay. Pros, I would say accuracy, because you can adjust an anti-tank guided missile in flight. Pros would be anti-tank guided missiles, by and large, have better penetration depending on where they hit and what they're compared to. Cons, number one, you have to sit stationary while you're trying to guide that missile there. Number two, those missiles are very large, so you're not going to be able to carry as many of them in your ready rack or your semi-ready rack. Next con would be speed. Anti-tank guided missiles do not travel as fast as the Sabo. So those are all cons. Hold on. No sound in space. Don't you know weapons? Don't you side with them? Shoot, we're not going to mention the Gustav gun. The Gustav gun, cool gun. Wait, are you talking about the Carl Gustav or like the rail Gustav gun that the Germans made? Again, cool gun, super fucking impractical. Awesome gun. It's just like the Yamamoto, whatever, the big ass Japanese battleship. Awesome battleship. Super cool. Really big coral reef. Very impractical. Yeah. Regular F-15s haven't been down by Sam's. Strike Eagle has 3 times. F-16 has been down by Sam's 5 times in addition to its 1 air-to-air loss. Really? I forgot to hit like. John, you better do that, man. The amazing Ginsu missile. Again. HLC, are you saying that they need is more knives on the missile? No, I'm not. It's unnecessary. It's funny, but it's unnecessary. Tiger versus 76 Firefly. The Tiger was afraid of those. I'm not familiar with the 76 Firefly. Is that... don't know enough about that weapon system. Anyone know why I get a message not sent, edit, and try again when trying to send a super chat? I have no idea, Truth Seeker. We need 500 of them. We'll add a soundboard with a dozen sound effects. Exactly! Better aim. So, Greenland Shark, okay, how do I word this? So, when I say better aim, an anti-tank guided missile, when you fire it, wherever you put your reticle is where that missile is going to go. So if I put it right in the middle of this lens, that missile is going to go right there, and it's going to fly completely straight. And if I make any small adjustments, like let's say I need it to go left, it'll automatically adjust left, right? So that if you can guide something throughout the entire trajectory of its flight, its accuracy is going to be better. Okay, especially if that tank starts to move, you can lead with it. Okay, I'm going to follow it that way. All right. A big chunk of depleted uranium traveling at 6,280 feet per second has a bit of a lob, and your accuracy, I mean, yeah, you can see it, your shooting center mass, but that's also dependent on your bore sight. That depends on the range to the target. That depends on how good your Cadillacs work. Like, there's a lot of variables. Smells like steak in space. Who figured that out? I remember reading that. But who figured that out? Knife missile, because the designer wanted to win a bet on what he could get greenlit. You know, that, Scott, is probably the best example I have ever heard. Like that's the best reasoning to why someone did that. That makes perfect sense, because I have passed up NCOERs, non-commissioned officer evaluation reports, because I could. HLC looking at joining the Coast Guard Reserves, getting ready to retake the ASVAB and go to MEPS. Join PSU and ME or BM. Any comments? Plus, M18 Hellcat is the best World War II tank. Thank you. I don't know what PSU is or ME. I don't. This is the thing. And this goes for anyone who's thinking about joining the military. The military is easy. It's easy. You just have to wake up on time, do what you're told, and don't quit. That's it. That's it. Like, don't get me wrong. I've wanted to quit. I absolutely wanted to quit. I've been carrying like a 90-pound rucksack on my back. You know, I'm 10 miles into a 15-mile ruck march, and it's raining, and I'm miserable, and everything hurts, and I look down, and I'm just like, come on, just dislocate. Just one of my knees, just dislocate. Just so I have a reason to stop. But I never quit. I just kept going. I wished ill will on myself. I was like, come on, spine, just give out. How about I have a heart attack? That'd be nice. I'd love to have a heart attack right now. Like, people in the military understand that. People outside the military don't get that. But you just really wake up on time, do what you're told, don't quit. Military is easy. It really is that easy. I've been doing this for 15 years. F-15 was hit by an R-60 but managed to land. Yeah, well, it's because it has the thrust-to-weight ratio of a rocket ship. Well, it's greater than 1, which allows it to literally be a rocket ship. When will we see a Gripen character now that Sweden is in NATO? I do need to add a Gripen. I've added the Eurofighter, I think, before. Yeah, I did add the Eurofighter. I should fuck with the Gripen. I'm going to add the Gripen to the list. And I need to add the Gripen. I need to add the B-2. I need to start reading about the Gripen. It's made by Saab, isn't it? You know what's interesting? You know what I love about Saab? It might be Saab. No. Does Saab make the Rafale? Fucking the R1. I think it's great that that Saab is remembered for making shitty cars, but amazing aircraft and anti-tank guided weapons. Like, can't figure out the sedan game, but penetrating a T-90, not a problem. Just didn't even think about it. Being able to outmaneuver most aircraft in Europe, got it. Hands down. That's easy. That's child's play. But these damn seatbelts over here. Those are giving our engineers a real. I'm sorry. I find that really, really funny. An astronaut figured it out. I don't know how they figured that out. Get a tight bore sight and you'll hit it. I agree, Kilo 19. Absolutely. I may have jacked up a muzzle bore sight device once before because my platoon sergeant said, take it out of the gun, flip it, tighten it back in, and then look at it from the other side, and then take it out of the gun. And what I did is I unscrewed it, flipped it while it was in the gun, and that caused the inside to bind up. And I told him, I was like, I don't know what happened. I followed your instructions. And yeah, didn't follow his instructions. Thank you so much, James Rose. Thank you for being here. Gutenfrog? Michigan Yankee, you're very welcome. Still waiting on a Hummer voice. Let's hear it. I'm going to give you one. Not me, but I'm going to give you one, Rob. Don't you worry. Daddy Rob, how you doing, bud? I'm going to give you some. I can't hear myself. Do I think the Vanguard missile is impossible to intercept? Let me look at that one in a second. I think I missed a couple of them up here. Nope, I missed that one though. We should all take a moment to thank Russia for 2 new members of NATO. They really have. I mean, honestly, when it comes to recruiting, they're really helping us out. Mrs. Linecrosser is like, Knox is making old man grumbles when he moves. It sounds like toots. I mean, we really couldn't. That whole thing, like, it's blown up in their face. Okay, so I need to look up what the Vanguard missile is. I may know it by a different name or a different surrogate. Let me take a look. Hypersonic glide vehicle, HGV. Russian hypersonic glide vehicle can be carried as a MIRV payload. RS-28 Sarmat. Okay, so the Vanguard is a HGV. It's carried by the Sarmat. I'm going to tell you right now, no. And here's why. It's not impossible. So hypersonic glide vehicles are really cool in outer space. Stay with me. So the way a hypersonic glide vehicle works is you fire something, Sarmat, travels at Mach 20, which sounds like a lot until you realize the American Trident goes at Mach 24 and our fucking Minuteman goes at Mach 23. So Sarmat, anyways, carries this hypersonic glide vehicle up. It releases, boom, breaks apart. That's the separation phase. And now, because it had moved with so much force, it's literally in orbit. Like, it can go around the Earth probably another time if it had enough fuel, to keep itself in orbit and keep itself on the right trajectory. So it's moving at hypersonic speeds. Anything past Mach 5 or 1 mile a second or 1.6 kilometers per second, right? That's hypersonic. Problem. As it starts to dive in to the atmosphere, now you have an excessive amount of drag and heat that start to hit that object. Because, I mean, think about it. The International Space Station has the aerodynamics of a brick. And it's traveling at 12 kilometers a second? 12 miles a second or something like that? Like, it's scooting. It's moving. I'm staying on the super chats. I'm working on this one. I'm Mrs. Linecrosser. So it's moving, but it can't enter the atmosphere because it's like being in a speedboat, right? You're in a speedboat, you're hauling ass across the top of the water. Let's say out of nowhere you said, I want to be a submarine at those speeds, and you dove in. How strong would you have to make that boat to be able to withstand that? Similar idea. So as it starts to come in, drag affects it, heat affects it. Now, I don't know enough about that individual platform. You would have to have fuel on board to combat those, to continue to accelerate. Most of those things don't. So, is it a hypersonic glide vehicle? Yes. It glides outside of the atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, but as it re-enters, not necessarily.
Would you intercept me?
Rob, I'm getting to it, Rob.
Intercept me.
$50 from Rob Castle. Saab makes kick-ass cars of the very highest quality.
Whoa!
It just all went downhill when General Motors bought them and tried to put their cars on worldwide platforms to try and save money. They failed.
That's fair. I've never seen a Saab that I'm like, that's a good looking Saab. I've seen a Volvo that I thought was a good looking Volvo, and I don't like Volvos, like, at all. I think every car company, hold on, I'm trying to think. I've never seen a good looking Fiat. I don't like Fiat. Never seen a good looking one. But every other car company I can think of, I've seen a good-looking car. I've never seen a good-looking Saab, and I've never seen a good-looking Fiat. At least in my opinion. Daddy Rob. Thoughts on Steadfast Defender 24? Oh, there we go. Oh. Have you heard any good stories yet? Cheers and have a nice weekend. I'm not going to be able to say that. Kelatoniel second. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Honestly, anytime we're getting interaction and training with our NATO partners, it's always a good opportunity. I just hope that they're putting in the effort and getting the good training out of it. And I haven't talked to anyone who's been a part of Steadfast Defender. Army Strong, not Army Smart. Hey. Gripin, whatever. Chinook character. I wanted the Chinook to be Arlie Ermy. I can get the cadence right. The tone is killing me right now. Without saying too much, is there any technique or tactic they don't teach you, but you learn anyway through experience? Yeah. When I would fail an evaluation, so as we're setting up the system, we do something called an RFA, a ready for action drill. And the commo guy, where I was at the position, my drill is by far the shortest. I go outside, make sure the radar's clear, come in, tell them it's clear, make sure all the bays are closed, and then I set up my station. That's pretty much it for me. My TCA, Tactical Control Assistant, he has a very specific order of doing like 60 tabs, has to make sure everything inside those tabs are accurate. He has to verify reports, verify this, verify that, like he has to do everything. And one time we failed because we had launchers that were not in because he forgot to check those launchers. So every time we'd fail for something that he would forget, I would add it to my drill and start going, have you checked this? Have you checked that? Have you checked this? And I'll start like that. So by the time he was done, I was doing a checkout event with him. So I made sure our system was good. He was good. My officer was good. My shit was good. And we were all good. So that's probably the best TTP that I've learned. Devin Elliott, my wife just told me she wants to start learning golf to spend more time with me. Do you and Mrs. Linecrosser have any shared hobbies? Ooh, she's probably watching right now. So we're both foodies. I will tell you that. We are both foodies, and we like to try new restaurants. We like to try different types of food. Honestly, shared hobbies. We're both hermits. We like staying at home. That's one of the things we do. She goes fishing with me every once in a while. But we like just going out and experiencing life together. We really do. Like, it really doesn't matter what it is. I don't fall into one of those categories where I need a vacation from my wife. And now some guys would be like, oh, you only been married a couple years. That's fine. You can have that opinion. I don't need a vacation from my wife. I don't need a vacation from my life. I'm very happy. So we do spend a lot of time together. And sometimes I'll tell her, like, I'm going to go play video games. We've been hanging out all day. And she's like, all right, cool. And she does her thing and I do my thing. So I encourage you. If your wife wants to learn to play golf, let her learn. Check out Project Marauder, Black Book by U.S. Air Force after one test. Enjoy. Plasma projectile, railgun, pure electricity. Ooh. Project Marauder. I haven't heard of that one. Anyone in here ever heard of Project Silverbug? I need a vacation from missiles. You never need a vacation from missiles. Rob. Saab makes kick-ass cars with very highest quality. I disagree, Rob. I do disagree. Again, nothing personal. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure. Fiat Dino Coupe, if I get the chance. I will look it up. Do you want upgrades? They're giving... Do I know what upgrades? I have no idea, DK. I have no clue what kind of upgrades they're giving the Raptors. I would assume, just based off of what I know, the Raptor is lacking in. Like, its sensor suite is not equivalent to an F-35. Does it have a good sensor? Yes, absolutely. But it's not equivalent to the F-35, who right now, in the U.S. arsenal, aside from AWACS, has the most powerful sensor on our current aircraft. The F-14 has the most powerful sensor we've ever put on a combat aircraft. I don't even know why we did that. I mean, it's kind of cool, though. So sensor suite, probably upgrade. It's probably going to be software and electronics, a lot of electronics. I doubt we'll see, like, canards or anything weird come out of this. We might see the thrust vectoring disappear because it's not really... I mean, it's cool, but it's not really useful. So I don't know. Ferrari or Fiats? All right, we'll look up the Fiat Dino Coupe. It's the only thing I'm going to look up. Okay, so a Fiat Dino Coupe, it's not bad. They were made from 1966 to 1973. They look like an old school Z. That's what I'm getting out of it. Is if you guys remember the old like 2 something Zs, that's what they look like. So they look like an old Z. They're not terrible. I will say now that car is not awful. That's actually not a bad looking car. I'll say it. Truth Seeker, thank you so much for the dono. I haven't seen any good Fiat Google Polski Maluk. That was the car in Poland. Cheap, roomy for its size, reliable. There were even rally cars. Polski? All right, I'm looking this one up. Senpai. Polski Maluk. Oh God, no! That looks like every Fiat I've ever seen. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would probably put like a Hayabusa motor and like 40 shot of NOS, and then maybe like an all-wheel drive drivetrain out of like a WRX STI. Like that would be a cool little car to just mad scientist, or just move the seats into the back seat and give it like a blower and a V8. Move the firewall back like 7 feet. All right, hold on. Oh, okay, Mrs. Line Crosser. So, she for this weekend, I made a gift to my missus because her birthday was yesterday, and I flew her mom in, and so my mother-in-law is in here, and if you guys would want to, I was just told that mother-in-law Line Crosser is willing to come say hi if you guys want. It's entirely up to you or her. If she's watching, Mama, you can come on up here. Getting put on CSO position as a tango. Definitely going to be putting that little TTP in my own drill. I'm telling you, man. Warsuit, every time you fail something, learn. Learn. Everyone's saying yes, Mrs. Line Crosser. Hold on. We got to... Okay, Truth Seeker. Go boom. HLC, love your content. Please check out Ryan McBeth's video from a few hours ago called TikTok. I do. Truth Seeker, I absolutely want to look into that. I just saw it pop up. I've been out all day. I'm sorry. I need to watch that. I totally agree with you. I'm going to be taking a shower later and kind of chilling out. I'm going to watch that. I want to. I trust and respect Ryan McBeth as a source of information. He's very good at what he does. Even if I don't agree with his opinion, I do want to hear what he has to say. And I think that that's the way that everybody should approach any kind of social media content creator, right? If you respect their opinion, you should listen and hear what they have to say. And honestly, I'm not perfect. I'm just telling you from my foxhole, I do not see TikTok as a cyber weapon. I don't. From my foxhole. He may know more than I do. And he may sway my opinion. And I may change my opinion. And that's okay. Because it's more important to be correct than it is to be right. Remember, those are not synonymous. Being right means you can't absorb new information. Being correct means you can absorb new information and change your opinion. Be correct, don't be right. Just wait till some mad lad at DARPA decides to put knives on a T-lamp. No! Okay, Mrs. Linecrosser says she's going to come say hello. She's got to use the bathroom first. Child marriage is based? What? What do I think of Alfa Romeos? I'm not an Alpha guy. They're okay looking. I'm just not an Alpha guy. Your dogs are going nuts might be a problem. No, they're just chilling. Oh, those are dogs outside. Those are not mine. I just got the window open. Oh, we got a lot of birthdays. Yeah, a lot of birthday wishes for Mrs. Linecrosser. Only if she has mistletoism. Mrs. Linecrosser does not have mistletoism. She actually keeps me on, yeah. So, Lady Linecrosser, totally. Do you know why F-16 sounds like they're tearing paper? Also, sorry, I'm going to take those off. As to where the 35 sound like an earthquake, also, what's your favorite non-aerial military vehicle? Ooh, that's a great question. I have no idea why the F-16 sound like they're tearing paper, and Knox is over there heavy breathing. He had to walk past the camera. Hi, bud. I have no idea why they sound like they're tearing paper. I don't know enough about the engines. I would refer you to Alex Hollings from Sandbox News. Incredibly smart when it comes to aircraft. He could probably explain that for you. And the F-35, like an earthquake, it probably has something to do with the intake or output of those engines. I don't know. Weapons also might be a really good source of information for that. Weapons here in chat. Would you drive a twin-turbo diesel Miata? Absolutely. I'm actually looking into how much it's going to cost to get like a 4BT turbo diesel out of like a Helix Surf and put it into something in the US. I don't know what. I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe like a Samurai. Because Suzuki Samurais are just way more fun than they should be. The Dino Coupe was designed by Marcello Gandini, who also designed the Lancia Stratos, Lamborghini Miura, Countach, Diablo. He passed on the 13th. No shit. The Diablo, I love the Diablo in the 90s when it came out. Now it looks boxy. I don't know. It doesn't look like a Lambo. It's weird. So the Snow Speedster and the Rebel Alliance uses Star Wars Empire Strikes Back as a technical. Just slapped a couple laser cannons on IMCON T-47 Airspeeder. Oh, I hear him. Knox, you better not bork at your mother. Go lay down. Go to bed. Bed. I love you. I'm waiting. I hear them outside. They're trying to talk themselves up. Tacomas for the win. I would love. I like Tacomas. I'm just huge. I'm 6'2", 225 pounds. Knox, stop. Come on in. Knox, go lay down. Knox, go lay down. Go lay down. Knox.
Hello, Knox.
Oh. It's very warm in here. Sorry, the window's open. The window's open. The window's open.
Okay.
Mrs. Line Crosser and mother-in-law Line Crosser.
Hello.
There we go. See?
Best son-in-law ever. Oh, do we have some?
I don't know. They're saying hello, boof, boof, boof. Knox, go lay down.
Lots of boofs.
Lots of boofs. And he's whining in front of the camera. Oh.
I hear dogs.
The window's open. I had to do this.
Oh, there's Nova. Hi, Nova.
Oh man. Hi peoples. Hey girls. Who's the other woman? This is my missus and this is my mother-in-law.
Hello.
Man, this is all
Good
going
to
through.
know you actually exist. That is good.
She does.
You don't have a fake wife, an imaginary wife.
I was starting to not believe it myself. Like, why don't you ever come to stream? Why don't you ever help me with videos?
Okay.
We're at 2 hours right there.
I know.
Do you guys want to help me with the sign off, or you just want to stand there?
I'll just stand.
Okay, we're gonna get ready to shut it down. We just had them come in for a few minutes here, guys.
And
So
you have a special guest next week.
I do. I forgot to say that. I have a special guest next week, next Friday. I do. They have arrived. Why aren't they floating eyes and mouths? All right, we're going to go ahead and hit the music.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, as always, do not give in to the 22 a day. Every single one of you are amazing. I will be live every Friday from 1800 Central to 2000 Central, so 6 to 8 p.m. If you would like to support the channel, please go to habituallinecrosser.com and go ahead and support the channel. I got 2 new shirts that just came out today. One is Don't Touch the Boats. The other one is an FAFO. You guys have been asking for both of them. I'm still working on the Missiletism one. That'll probably be the next design. So,
And thank you for the birthday wishes.
yes.
Thank you.
We will see you guys. Well, I will see you guys next time. Mrs. Linecrosser will probably be seeing you guys next time. Mother-in-law Linecrosser might not be around, but she might watch from home.
I'll watch from home.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Bye. Bye.